It's Yasmin Boland here with your new moon in Pisces update. Looking in my beautiful Moonology Diary 2026, keywords are structure, manifesting, more second chances, and dreams. If you're a regular astrology watcher or doer, you will know that every new moon is a really good opportunity for manifesting. Every new moon brings with it some kind of magic that helps us to get more aligned. It's a time to visualize your dreams as real, and there is plenty of evidence to suggest that if we can believe it, we can achieve it. That's something I've been working a lot with Moonology and Neuroscience for the upcoming 10th anniversary edition of my book Moonology. I've looked heavily into the neuroscience. There's a whole new chapter on the neuroscience of manifesting in there. And there's a lot of evidence to say that if you set an intention, okay, your brain is actually kicked into gear and starts to behave in different ways than if you haven't set an intention, okay? It activates something called the reticular activating system. And basically what that is, it's once it sort of got on a mission, then it starts to follow the steps that are needed to complete that mission. It's definitely scientific because what we do in astrology is we set intentions at the new moon. We work hard on our intentions during the waxing cycle, which is the period from the new moon to the full moon. And then we release it all to the divine at the full moon. Now, that is also strongly advised as a practice when it comes to making your wishes come true by neuroscience, because basically what we do at the full moon is we let it all go, including we release resentment and disappointment and upset and anger and all that stuff. And I know it's not always easy to let all the stuff go, but if you can, it is life-changing. And I must get a copy of my new Moonology book here so I can read to you from it. But basically what the neuroscience says is that if we hold on to anger, it is bad for us, okay? Like if we forgive and release, it is good for us. There's all sorts of scientific evidence, like people sleep better when they forgive. Their blood pressure goes down when they forgive. They have less chronic illness if they forgive. So that's the full moon. We are now at the new moon, okay? It's the new moon in Pisces. Now, you may know that the new moon in Pisces is the last lunation of a whole cycle because Pisces is the last of the 12 signs of the zodiac. We've been through all 12 signs of the zodiac from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and now finally Pisces. So even though this is very much a time to be setting intentions and sending your wishes out to the universe, activating your reticular activating system if you're very left-brained and you'd rather think of it like that, it is the time to do that. And, traditionally, neuroscience or no neuroscience, traditionally, magical women and some enlightened men have done this for years, okay, for millennia. Magical women have always sent their wishes out into the world or out into the universe or the cosmos at the new moon because, as my old mentor, Jonathan Kainer, used to say, the late, great Jonathan Kainer, who I was lucky enough to get to know and be very informally somewhat mentored by, he used to say the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest at the time of the new moon, which is where we are now, which is why it's always been a time for making magic or what we now call manifesting. Okay, so I just want to make a little point about manifesting. I think it's very important since it's, March 2026 and we've all been learning about manifesting for quite a long time now. It's really important to make the point that manifesting isn't some kind of woo-woo thing that you sit down and do for 10 minutes every month and then bingo, all your dreams will come true. I think we've all moved past that sort of idea. And whenever I think of this, I think of things that I've seen on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, which is really seductive. And I probably even was tempted to try them, even though I know it's ridiculous, where they'll say something like, listen to this tone for 10 minutes before you go to sleep and all your manifesting will manifest. And it's just complete BS, if you don't mind me saying. We manifest through who we are and what we are. Okay. So now that's why, again, I know it's a new moon, but just to refer to the full moon again, that's why the full moon is so important, because if we are angry and resentful and upset and disappointed and just generally toxic, feeling bad about life, the law of attraction says we're just going to attract like unto itself is drawn, more of the same. And the neuroscience backs it up. If we are just walking around in a terrible, upset, angry fugue, we are not going to be able to attract what we want to attract into our lives. So that's why we release it all at the full moon. Hopefully you did it, the full moon 2 weeks ago. I did a free Facebook update here. I do chanting with my members in my mainly Moonology membership every month. And now it's the new moon, okay? So now hopefully you have released all the negativity. We did another release yesterday at the dark moon. Now it's time to set your intentions and decide what it is you want to bring into your life. Now, a part of this process is merely the act of getting clarity about what you want, okay? That's crucial, because once you know what you want, your brain will start to look for signs that you are managing to manifest what you want. And another thing I say in my book, Moonology, is that we should go in baby steps, always go in baby steps, because you get a little bit of evidence that your manifesting is working, and then a little bit more and a little bit more. So I don't want to take the magic out of all this, because I still believe that there is some kind of unseen magic that's going on behind the scenes. But I know there are a lot of cerebral left brain people who are going to be happy to know that the science backs up the woo-woo, okay? So get clear on what you want, and then basically take steps to make it happen. It's literally not rocket science. It's very simple. It's just that the lunar cycle gives us this perfect framework to do it, okay? And I will just say, having talked about the full moon a lot in the last few minutes, there is a blue moon coming at the end of May, and it's going to be a really powerful time to do some release work, to let go of all that toxicity, so you stop attracting toxicity into your life. You stop sending out negativity into the universe. You stop hampering your own manifesting abilities. That's the blue moon, which is taking place at the end of May, and it's a full moon. And so it's once in a blue moon. And I will be doing a workshop. If you happen to be in the States, if you'd like to come and do some forgiveness work with me, some release work, ready to do some really powerful manifesting at the new moon 2 weeks later. And we'll get together online and do that together if you're at the workshop. It'll be just for people at the workshop. So let me just tell you about that. It's at the Omega Institute in Rhine Cliff, New York, upstate New York. It's the last weekend of May, from the Friday night, I think it's the 29th, to the Sunday midday. And if you would like a link to that workshop, just put the word forgive in the comments. Forgive, one word, FORGIVE, forgive, and we'll send you a link to the workshop. Spaces are limited, so book your space before they hopefully sell out. So a bit more about this new moon, let me just tell you. So this new moon, according to my beautiful diary, invites you to imagine the life you truly desire, letting your creativity and inner vision flow. And one of the reasons for that is that this new moon is making what's called an outer sign conjunction to the planets Saturn and Neptune. Now, Saturn has a bit of a bad reputation as being this kind of scary planet, but do you know why it's scary? It's scary because guess what? Saturn is the planet of karma. Okay, Karma. So people, of course, are scared of it because we're all a bit scared of our karma, aren't we? What have I done? Oh my God, I'm going to pay the price with my karma. Okay, but Saturn is actually not a bad planet. Saturn is the planet that says if you do what you should do, what you know you should do, if you are honest and in integrity and strong-minded, and you stick to being really on point in terms of your integrity, then Saturn will actually help you build some solid foundations in your life. Neptune, on the other hand, is the planet of dreams and imagination. Sorry, Jonty wants to come up, so let's bring him up. Neptune is the planet of dreams and poetry and soulmates and the divine and meditation and creative visualization and all the magical woo-woo stuff. So in fact, with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, we almost have the meeting of what I'm always referring to, which is the woo-woo, the magic, and the work. The woo-woo and the work. The woo-woo is Neptune, Saturn is the work. And so they are coming up. They are together now in Aries, and this new moon is making an out of sign conjunction to them. So it really is a good time to put the two together to make a magical intention that you visualize. We're actually going to do it together in my Moonology membership in about just under an hour from now, if you remember. I'm looking forward to it. Got a whole presentation for you. But send your wishes out to the universe. Creatively visualize them, affirm them. That's the Neptune stuff. And then with Saturn, it's like do what you need to do in order to make it happen. It's not just visualize it, it's the woo-woo and the work. So Saturn is the planet of making things concrete. Neptune is the planet of dreams. Put them together, and now is a very good time to test your manifesting skills. Okay? Take inspired ideas and visions from Neptune and give them a practical, structured plan through Saturn's guidance. Think of it as building a bridge from your imagination to reality, one step at a time. Throw in the new moon in Pisces, and we're all being encouraged, dream a dream and make it real. Tap into our intuition and align with our deepest spiritual aspirations. Add in the fact that Mercury is still retrograde just at the time of this new moon, and it's obviously a very good time to have a go at anything you tried earlier but didn't succeed with, okay? So if there's anything in your life that you have made an effort on, didn't work out, this is like the last chance saloon, because we've got Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde, again, has not the greatest reputation in the world, but it's actually really, really good for second chances, for redos, do-overs, okay? Plus, remember, this is the new moon in Pisces. It's the last sign of the zodiac. So there's a sense that now is a really good time to have one more go at that one thing you really wanted, which maybe hasn't manifested yet. And remember, with Saturn Neptune together and this new moon making an out of sign conjunction to Saturn and Neptune, it's such an important time to be working with the woo-woo and the work. So that means make the wishes, visualize them, write them down, get really clear on what you want. And then in the coming 2 weeks between now and the full moon, which is called the waxing cycle, make sure you take concrete steps towards them. And if you know you're a bit bunged up with upsets and dramas that have been going on in your life recently for the past months, years, whatever, and you know you need to release, and you are in the United States, for heaven's sake, put the word forgive in the comments and have a look at my workshop, which I'm doing at Amiga at the end of May, because I would love to see you there and I would love to help you release it all to the divine, so that come the following new moon, you will be sending out a clear ringing bell signal to the universe for what you want to attract. Okay? So that's it from me for this Facebook update. Thank you for being here. And if you remember, I'll see you in about 45 minutes from now. Lots of love.